Okay, students. So we were discussing this paper, October, November 2025, paper 2, variant 2. With this paper, we have started last time, online, on last Thursday. Solve the initial some questions, but still I would like to start from the question number 1. Okay, although we have discussed till I think question number 4, but I would like to start from question number 1. I'm repeating, student, we are discussing the MCQs paper of October, November 2025. Okay. So now I'm moving towards the question number 1. In question number 1, they are saying which quantities are both vectors. I'm repeating, which quantities are both vectors. So vector quantities are those quantities which have magnitude and direction as well. So it means the students' acceleration has magnitude and direction as well. So acceleration is a vector quantity and force is also a vector quantity. Both are vector quantities. Exactly, Naya. So it means A is the correct answer. All right, students, A is the right answer. Now we have already done this question, so I'm not giving lengthy time on these questions, beta. Question number 2. In question number 2, they are saying how is the deceleration of an object calculated from a speed time graph? Exactly, beta. So as I told you already in the previous classes that the speed time graph can be used to find two different variables. Like if we have a speed time graph, so we can find the acceleration by the gradient of this speed time graph, or we can find the area under the curve. Sorry, we can find the distance by using the area under the curve. But in this question, they are asking to calculate the deceleration. Deceleration is a negative acceleration, student. And we can find the negative acceleration or acceleration of the object with the help of a speed time graph by finding the gradient of the graph. So it means the students B is the correct answer. All right. Now I'm moving towards the next question, question number 3. In question number 3, they are saying a space probe that has a mass of 600 kg is on the planet Mars. So mass of the space probe is given 600 kg. Acceleration of free fall means acceleration due to gravity on Mars is 4 meter per second square. Now they are asking what is the weight of the space probe. So to calculate the weight, students, we will use the formula W is equals to mg. Assalamu alaikum, Ayan. We will use the formula W is equals to mg. So it means, well done, Ahmad. So m is basically the mass of the probe, which is given 600 kg, and gravity value is given 4. So after multiplication, we will get the answer 2400 Newton. So it means, students, C is the correct answer. Understood? C is the correct answer. All right. So those who have joined late, let me repeat again, student, that we are solving October, November 2025, paper 2, variant 2. All right. Now we have done question number 3. Now I am moving towards the next question, question number 4. This question is very interesting. In this question, they are saying students are asked to predict the order in which three liquid P, Q, R will float on each other. So basically, we are given three liquid P, Q, R, and each and every liquid has different density. Now you can see this is an empty measuring cylinder. This empty measuring cylinder mass is 45 gram. And now we are pouring the liquid P in this measuring cylinder. Measuring cylinder is basically used to measure the volume of water or volume of any liquid. So you can see the volume of liquid P is 20 centimeter cube. Now this liquid plus measuring cylinder mass is 69 grams. So basically with this data, we are able to find the density of liquid P. So what I will do, student, first I will find the density of liquid P. All right. So to find liquid P density, we need mass and we need volume. So volume is already given, which is 20 centimeter cube. So how should I calculate the mass, students? So basically this is the total mass of measuring cylinder plus liquid mass, which is 69 gram. Now this is the mass of empty measuring cylinder, which is 45 gram. So after subtracting both of them, we will get the mass of the liquid. So 69 minus 45, what we are getting, students? Well done, Hafsa. Well done, Ahmad. 24. 24 gram is the mass of the liquid. Now we will use the formula of density, which is mass upon volume. Mass is 24 and volume is 20. So after division, we will get the density 1.2 gram per centimeter cube. Well done, Zuresh. Density of liquid P is 1.2 gram per centimeter cube. All right. So now you can see the other liquid density is also given. Liquid Q density is 0.75, which is less, and liquid R density is 1.1. So it means that the liquid P's density is greatest. Liquid P density is greatest. So if liquid P density is greatest, so liquid P will sink into the measuring cylinder. Then the less density is the density of liquid R, which is 1.1. So it will float on the surface of liquid P. And the least density liquid is liquid Q, which is 0.75. So it will float on the top. So basically, we will get the liquid in this order PQ, PRQ. So let me check the options, students. PRQ. So it means beta C is the correct answer. Well done, students. C is the correct answer. Assalamu alaikum, Vania. So liquid P is denser, so it is sinking in the bottom of the measuring cylinder, then liquid R, then liquid Q. Have you understood this question, students? All right. So now I'm going to clear the screen, everyone. Now I'm moving towards the next question, question number 5. So this is the question from which we have to start today because we have already done till question number 4 in the last class. Okay. So question number 5 is related to moment, turning effect of forces. In this question, they are saying a force F is applied to a spanner as shown in the diagram. Okay, Vanya. I have to ask about the Feb March 2026 paper on the group. On the Cambridge group, beta. I will ask them. So as I will receive, so I will send you, inshallah. I will receive sooner, Vania. Still, I don't have, but I will receive sooner. Okay. Now you can see this is the spanner of sorry, beta, spanner. All right, which is used to tight the nut and bolt. Okay. So this is the nut. So nut is a fixed point. So it means this is a pivot. This point is pivot. Now you can see we are applying the force on the handle of this spanner. So this force will be rotated clockwise or anti-clockwise, students. This force will produce the clockwise movement or anti-clockwise movement. Well done, Hafsa. Clockwise movement. All right. Now they are saying which action increases the moment of force about the center of the nut. So basically, movement formula is force multiplied by distance. Force multiplied by distance. देखिए बेटा, to produce the greater movement, either we need to increase the force or either we need to increase the distance. So if you are increasing any one of the variables, so it means that the moment will also become greater. So now let me read the option one by one. In option A, they are saying applying the force to the right hand of the spanner handle. So when we will apply the force to the right hand of the spanner handle, right means I'm moving the force towards the right side. So it means that the distance between the force and the pivot will increase. So basically we are applying the same force. Force value is same. But now we are shifting the force towards the right of the handle. So it is increasing the distance between the force and the pivot. So it means distance has been increased. So if the distance has been increased, so movement will be greater. So yes, A could be a right answer. Now let me read the other option as well to verify whether A is the correct answer or not. So in option B, they are saying applying the force F parallel to the spanner handle like this. So if we will apply the force parallel to the spanner handle, so no movement is produced. Because to produce the movement, force is always applied perpendicular to the object, then it will produce a movement. All right. So it means, students, B could not be a correct answer. Acha, Hafsa is saying, Miss, movement and distance are directly proportional. Hafsa, movement is directly proportional to force. Movement is directly proportional to the distance as well. If the force will be greater, movement will be greater. Or if force is same but distance is increased, so movement will also increase. All right, Hafsa? Now they are saying spraying oil on the nut, it's a useless answer, because by spraying oil on the nut, how can we increase the moment? Obviously, we can reduce the friction by this method. Now you can see in option D, use a shorter spanner. देखिए बेटा, if I will use the short spanner, it means that the handle length is shorter. The length of the handle is shorter. So if the length of the handle is shorter, and if I will apply the force at this point, so it means that we are decreasing the distance. We are decreasing the distance. So when the distance will be decreased, so the moment produced will also decrease. So it means D could not be a right answer. So it means, students, A is the correct answer, that when we will move the force towards the right side, so we are increasing the distance between the pivot and the force. We will always take the force distance between the pivot and the force. So it means if the distance is greater, force is greater. Is it clear to you, students? Now, next question is related to momentum. Momentum is one of my favorite topics, students, because it has lots of lengthy calculation. So in this question, they are saying diagram 1 shows a ball X. This is ball X and its mass is given 0.15 kg, is traveling horizontally with a velocity of 2.1 meter per second. So now you can see these two balls are moving in the opposite direction. Assalamu alaikum, Abdul Rafi. How are you, beta? Good to see you in class, Abdul Rafi. So now you can see the ball X is moving towards the right side and ball Y is moving towards the left side. Ball Y mass is not given. Okay, so these two balls are moving in the opposite direction. Okay, so now you can see, beta, if these two balls are moving in the opposite direction and velocity is a vector quantity, so we have to associate the positive and negative sign with these velocities. So how should I know whether which velocity will be positive or which one is negative? So remember, beta, right side we will take always positive, left side we will take always negative. Exactly, Abdul Rafi, well done. Right side we will take always positive. इस तरह याद रखें कि right side right hand अच्छा होता है ना, तो उसको हम positive से consider करेंगे, और left hand को बुरा समझ लें तो उसको हम negative से consider करेंगे. ठीक है, तो इस तरह से याद रखें, right side will be positive and left side will be negative. So basically the y velocity is minus 0.4 meter per second. After collision, you can see X and Y, they both are moving in the opposite direction. So now the X is moving in the opposite direction with a different final velocity. So this velocity will be negative because now it is moving towards the left side. And Y is moving towards the right side. So it means it is positive. So what we have to find? We have to find the mass of the ball Y. So let me make the proper data, students. So mass of object X, I am considering this object X is M1 and its mass is given 0.15 kg, and its initial velocity before collision is u1, which is plus 2.1 meter per second. And the next mass is m2, which is the mass of ball y, which is not given. We have to find the mass of ball y, which I'm labeling it m2. And the initial velocity of ball y is u2, which is minus 0.4 meter per second, because it is moving in the opposite direction. After collision, mass of the object X will remain same, which is 0.15 kg. Obviously, because of the collision, mass can never change. But the final velocity has been changed. Now it will become minus 1.4 meter per second, and final velocity of object Y is plus 1.1 meter per second. So now, student, we have to calculate m2. So now I will use the law of conservation of momentum. Okay, law of conservation of momentum. What is law of conservation of momentum, students? Total momentum before collision is equals to total momentum after collision. So m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equals to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. This formula we will use for law of conservation of momentum, students. So m1 value is 0.15, u1 value is 2.1, m2 value is, we have to find, and initial velocity of 2 is minus 0.4, is equals to m1 is again 0.15, v1 is minus 1.4. I don't have a space, so I'm writing in very small writing. m2 we have to find, and V2 is plus 1.1. So now students, we have to simplify this basically and we will get the answer. Okay, hurry up, simplify this and we will get the answer. 0.15 multiply by 2.1. So we are getting basically 0.315 minus 0.4 M2 is equals to, now 0.15 multiply by 1.4. So what we are getting, students? We are getting 0.21 with negative sign and plus 1.1 M2. तो m को एक जगह कर लेंगे, कांस्टेंट को एक जगह कर लेंगे बेटा। ये माइनस का है, इसको इधर भेज देते हैं तो इट विल बिकम प्लस, और ये माइनस का है तो इसको इधर भेजेंगे, इट विल बिकम माइनस, सॉरी प्लस बेटा। सो 0.315 प्लस 0.21 is equals to 0.4 m2 प्लस 1.1 m2। तो बस स्टूडेंट इसको सॉल्व करें और मुझे आंसर बताएं क्या आ रहा है। अब्दुल राफे, M2 कट कैसे हो सकता है बेटा? ये कोई डिवाइड थोड़ी हो रहे जो M2 कट हो जाएगा, ये तो प्लस माइनस हो रहे हैं ना अब्दुल राफे। कट जो होगा डिवीजन में होता है। अच्छा, इन दोनों को प्लस करके आ रहा है हमारे पास 0.525 इज इक्वल टू, इन दोनों को प्लस करेंगे। अब्दुल राफे यहाँ देखिए, ये माइनस का वैल्यू है, दूसरी तरफ जाके प्लस की हो जाएगी। 1.1 में 0.4 प्लस करेंगे तो वी विल गेट 1.5 M2। तो 0.525 को हम डिवाइड कर देंगे 1.5 से, तो नाउ वी आर गेटिंग 0.35। तो M2 की वैल्यू आ रही है मेरे पास 0.35 kg। सो इट मीन्स स्टूडेंट C इज द करेक्ट आंसर। C is the correct answer. Did you understand this calculation, beta? It's a simple algebraic expression. It's simple algebraic expression. Vanya, you have to send me your working so I can check. Send me your working, Vanya. That's why I have shown you each and every step so you can check whether you are doing correctly or not. Okay? Any confusion here, students? Acha, Vanya, what mistake you are doing? वानिया, आपने सही किया है, लेकिन जो लास्ट स्टेप में आपने यहाँ पे मिस्टेक की है बेटा। 3.2, और आपने इसको स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्म में क्यों लिखा हुआ है? इतनी छोटी तो वैल्यूज है, डोंट नीड टू राइट इन स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्म। तो 3.2 इंटू टेन रेज़ टू पावर -1 आपने लिखा हुआ है, 3.2 इंटू टेन रेज़ टू पावर -1 प्लस 2.1 इंटू टेन रेज़ टू पावर -1, यहाँ तक सही है। और यहाँ वाली वैल्यू प्लस होके 1.5x हो जाएगी, आपने इसको x कंसिडर किया हुआ है। तो बस इन दोनों को प्लस करें और 1.5 को इधर लाके आप डिवाइड करेंगे, आपका आंसर सही आएगा। वानी, x को इंडिपेंडेंट बनाना है, आपने x कंसिडर किया हुआ है ना, मैंने यहाँ पे M2 लिखा हुआ है, आपने x लिखा हुआ है। यू हैव टू मेक x इंडिपेंडेंट, ठीक है। इन दोनों को प्लस करें और 1.5 से डिवाइड करेंगे, यू विल गेट द करेक्ट आंसर। स्टूडेंट, हैव यू अंडरस्टूड दिस कैलकुलेशन? कैन आई क्लियर द स्क्रीन बेटा? Can I clear the screen? Okay, good. Zuresh? All right. Okay, now question number 7. This is the same question, Alize. Last time you have asked this question from me, beta. In this question, they are saying a mass is suspended from a vertical spring. All right, so this is a spring through which a mass is suspended. All right, the mass is pulled downward, causing the spring to further extend. So we are pulling the mass downward. So basically, when we will pull the mass downward, so the spring will show the extension like this. Now they are saying the mass is held in this position and then released. अब हम मास को रिलीज कर रहे हैं। वानिया, एक मिनट बेटा, हम मास को रिलीज कर रहे हैं। जब मास को रिलीज करने का मतलब ये है कि वी आर रिमूविंग द फोर्स विच वी वर अप्लाइंग। अब हम फोर्स को रिमूव कर रहे हैं। जब हम फोर्स को रिमूव करेंगे तो इट मीन्स दैट दिस स्प्रिंग विल कंप्रेस अगेन, दिस स्प्रिंग विल मूव अपवर्ड, ये ऊपर की तरफ जाएगा। नाउ द स्प्रिंग इज मूविंग अपवर्ड। जब स्प्रिंग ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा है तो देखिए, व्हेन वी वर अप्लाइंग द फोर्स ऑन दिस स्प्रिंग, सो द स्प्रिंग विल हैव इलास्टिक पोटेंशियल एनर्जी। कौन सी एनर्जी स्प्रिंग के पास? इलास्टिक पोटेंशियल एनर्जी, बिकॉज द स्प्रिंग हैज बीन स्ट्रेच। जब मैं स्प्रिंग के पास से फोर्स को रिमूव कर रही हूँ, मैं इस फोर्स को रिमूव कर रही हूँ, तो स्प्रिंग इज रीगेनिंग इट्स ओरिजिनल पोजीशन। इसका मतलब स्प्रिंग के पास कौन सी एनर्जी, इलास्टिक पोटेंशियल एनर्जी। अब ये रीगेन कर रहा है अपनी पोजीशन को, तो ये ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा है, ऊपर की तरफ, इट मीन्स इट इज मूविंग। तो मूविंग ऑब्जेक्ट के पास कौन सी एनर्जी होती है बेटा, काइनेटिक एनर्जी। ठीक है, काइनेटिक एनर्जी है, इसका मतलब काइनेटिक एनर्जी इंक्रीज हो रही है, पहली बात तो ये। और चूंकि स्प्रिंग ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा है, तो समथिंग व्हेन इट इज मूविंग इन द अपर डायरेक्शन, सो इट मींस इट इज मूविंग इन द सर्टेन हाइट। सो सर्टेन हाइट पे जो एनर्जी होगी वो कौन सी होगी, ग्रेविटेशनल पोटेंशियल एनर्जी। अभी मैं एलेवेंथ की क्लास दे रही थी, तो उसमें मैंने अभी इक्वेशन लिखवाई थी, इलास्टिक पोटेंशियल एनर्जी स्प्रिंग की बराबर होती है काइनेटिक एनर्जी प्लस ग्रेविटेशनल पोटेंशियल एनर्जी के। बट आपके सिलेबस में ये इक्वेशन नहीं है, तो डोंट नीड टू राइट इट बेटा। तो देखें, इलास्टिक पोटेंशियल एनर्जी लॉस हो रही है बिकॉज राइट नाउ द स्प्रिंग इज गेटिंग इट्स ओरिजिनल पोजीशन, स्प्रिंग वापस अपनी पोजीशन पे जा रहा है, तो इलास्टिक पोटेंशियल एनर्जी लॉस होगी, काइनेटिक एनर्जी गेन होगी, ग्रेविटेशन पोटेंशियल एनर्जी गेन होगी। ठीक है, तो इट मींस स्टूडेंट इलास्टिक पोटेंशियल एनर्जी विल डिक्रीज, काइनेटिक एनर्जी विल इंक्रीज एंड द ग्रेविटेशन पोटेंशियल एनर्जी विल इंक्रीज। इंक्रीज क्यों हो रही है बेटा, इस वक्त मास इस पोजीशन पे, जब मास ऊपर की तरफ जाएगा तो मास इज मूविंग एट अ सर्टेन हाइट, हाइट पे कौन सी एनर्जी होती है बेटा, ग्रेविटेशनल पोटेंशियल एनर्जी। So that's why beta D is the correct option. D is the correct answer. Did you understand this question, students? Everyone? Okay, good. All right. Now I'm moving towards the next question. Question number 8 is very easy. In this question, they are saying which energy resource store kinetic energy. Kinetic. Every moving object possesses kinetic energy. So, देखिए बेटा, coal is a form of chemical energy. A cannot be a right answer. Fission reaction. These are the radioactive reaction, nuclear reaction. So it's a sort of nuclear energy. It could not be a right answer. Solar energy is not kinetic energy, beta. So wind energy. Wind क्या होती है? Blow करती है. Wind blow होगी तो it means wind possess kinetic energy. So D is the correct answer. All right, students, D is the correct answer. Okay. Well done. Well done, students. Now look at the question number 9. Question number 9 is very interesting. Two beakers are filled to the same depth. Same depth means the height of two beakers are same. One with water and other with oil. So this beaker is filled with water and the other beaker is filled with oil. So water density is greater. You can see 1000 kg per meter cube, and the oil density is less. That is 920 kg per meter cube. In which position is the pressure the greatest? तो देखिए बेटा, प्रेशर ड्यू टू लिक्विड फॉर्मूला इज रो जी एच। आई एम रिपीटिंग, pressure due to liquid formula is rho gh. So it means pressure depend upon two parameters, density and depth of the liquid. So depth of the liquid is same. So we cannot consider this parameter. Now the pressure depend upon the density. So it means, students, the density of water is greater. So answer can be A or answer can be B. C or D cannot be a right answer. So now you can see A is at the less height from the surface of the water and D is at more height. So it means B is the correct option. Well done, everyone. B is the correct answer. Are you understanding these questions, students? Okay, now I'm moving towards the next question, question number 10. In question number 10, they are saying the pressure of the air in a car tire rises after a long journey. Obviously, when the car is moving at a long journey, so it means that due to the continuous friction, temperature of the air inside this tire will increase. देखिए बेटा, एक चीज तो याद रखें, वेन एवर द अस्सलाम वालेकुम जर्लिश, when the temperature of the air is increasing, so due to the increase in temperature, speed of the gas molecule will also increase, because the gas molecule will gain heat energy. As they will gain heat energy, they will become more energetic. So it means they will move vigorously, due to which speed will increase. तो एक चीज तो याद रखें कि whenever the temperature of the gas is increasing, speed of the molecules will increase. टेम्परेचर के चेंज होने से गैस की स्पीड चेंज होती है, ठीक है। और टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज हो रहा है यहाँ पे, क्यों इंक्रीज हो रहा है? इसकी वजह ये है कि बिकॉज ऑफ द कंटिन्यूअस फ्रिक्शन बिटवीन द टायर एंड द रोड, the tire will become heat up, and this heat energy will transfer to the gas means air inside the tire, so temperature of the tire will also increase, and due to the increase in temperature, speed of the air particles will increase. So well done students, D is the correct answer. D is the correct answer. Are you understanding these questions, students? All right, now I'm moving towards the next question, question number 11, which is very easy. In this question, they are saying, in which range of a temperature is water a liquid? तो देखिए बेटा, if I talk about the water, so water melting point is 0 degrees Celsius and water boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius. This is the melting point of water and this is the boiling point of water. After boiling point, the water will be converted into gas. यानी कि above 100 degrees Celsius पे water gas में convert हो जाएगा. और below melting point like -4, -3, -10, -15, तो माइनस के टेम्परेचर पे it will exist in the term of ice, in the state of ice. But between 0 to 100 degrees Celsius, the water will stay in the liquid state. But all the temperatures are given in the Kelvin. केल्विन, तो बेसिकली हम क्या करेंगे, सेल्सियस को केल्विन में कन्वर्ट कर देंगे। 0 से लेकर 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस तक की मैंने आपको रेंज बताई है जिसमें वाटर लिक्विड स्टेट में रहेगा। तो नाउ स्टूडेंट्स, व्हाट इज द फॉर्मूला टू कन्वर्ट द सेल्सियस इनटू केल्विन? वेल डन स्टूडेंट्स, वेल डन हफ्सा। सेल्सियस उल्टा लिख दिया हफ्सा आपने। केल्विन इज बेसिकली इक्वल्स टू सेल्सियस प्लस 273, राइट बेटा? Kelvin is equals to Celsius plus 273. Well done, अहमद। तो सेल्सियस में टेम्परेचर, इनिशियल टेम्परेचर है वाटर का 0 डिग्री सेल्सियस, जिसपे वाटर लिक्विड स्टेट में रहेगा। तो 0 + 273, तो वी विल गेट द टेम्परेचर इन केल्विन 273 केल्विन, राइट? अच्छा, सेकेंड टेम्परेचर जिसपे वाटर लिक्विड स्टेट में रहेगा, दैट इज 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस, ठीक है। तो अगेन वी विल यूज दिस फॉर्मूला, केल्विन इज इक्वल्स टू सेल्सियस प्लस 273। तो सेल्सियस की जगह वी विल पुट 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस प्लस 273, सो वी विल गेट 373 केल्विन, ठीक है। तो इसका मतलब इन दोनों की रेंज में वाटर विल रिमेन इन द लिक्विड स्टेट। Abdul Rafi, how C is the right answer? Yes, beta, D is the correct answer. Good, Abdul Rafi. D is the correct answer. Did you understand this question? वानिया, अलीजे, हाउ, स्टिल हाउ? अभी तो मैंने सारी कैलकुलेशन शो कर दी हफ्सा। यहाँ देखिए बेटा, केल्विन का फॉर्मूला मैंने आपको क्या लिखा है, सेल्सियस प्लस 273। अच्छा, ये तो आप लोगों को पता है ना कि, अच्छा एक मिनट वानिया, लेट मी चेक योर क्वेश्चन एज वेल। ये तो आप लोगों को पता है ना कि वाटर लिक्विड स्टेट में रहेगा 0 to 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस, ठीक है। तो 0 को मैंने केल्विन में कन्वर्ट किया तो वी आर गेटिंग 273 केल्विन, और 100 डिग्री सेल्सियस को मैंने केल्विन में कन्वर्ट किया तो वी आर गेटिंग 373 केल्विन, राइट हफ्सा? तो 273 केल्विन से 373 केल्विन तक वाटर विल स्टे रिमेन इन द लिक्विड स्टेट। यहाँ तक कोई कंफ्यूजन? जर्लिश, अलीजे, अयान? All right. Now I'm moving towards the next question. The next question is question number 12. This question is also very interesting, students. In this question, what they are saying, the diagram represents the particle arrangement in sample of three different substances P, Q and R. अच्छा, कोई मुझे आइडेंटिफाई करके बता सकता है कि सब्सटेंस P जो है वो लिक्विड है, सॉलिड है या गैस है? लिक्विड है। वेल डन जुरेश। सब्सटेंस P is in the liquid state, substance Q is in the solid state, and substance R is basically in the gaseous state, ठीक है। Now they are saying which row show possible percentage increase in volume? देखिए, हम इसको हीटअप कर रहे हैं, इन तीनों सब्सटेंसेस को हीटअप कर रहे हैं। तो हीटअप करने की वजह से दे विल शो द वॉल्यूमेट्रिक एक्सपेंशन। हर चीज एक्सपेंड होती है ना हीटअप करने पर। तो हमें ये फाइंड करना है कि सबसे ज्यादा कौन एक्सपेंड होगा, इसमें हमें कोई कैलकुलेशन नहीं करनी। देखिए बेटा, सॉलिड एक्सपेंड लीस्ट, ठीक है। एक चीज याद रखें, सॉलिड एक्सपेंड लीस्ट, लीस्ट एक्सपेंड होते हैं सॉलिड। तो सबसे कम एक्सपेंशन जो होगा वो सॉलिड का होगा। देन लिक्विड शो ग्रेटर एक्सपेंशन, and gases show greatest expansion because of weak intermolecular force of attraction between the gas particles. Gas particles में force of attraction weak होती है, so they will show greater expansion. तो सबसे ज्यादा जो expand होगा वो substance R होगा. Substance R. तो देखिए D तो आंसर हो ही नहीं सकता, या तो आंसर A हो सकता है या आंसर C हो सकता है. ठीक है. अच्छा, उससे और सबसे लेस कौन एक्सपेंड होगा? सब्सटेंस. क्यों? बिकॉज इट इज सॉलिड. सो यस स्टूडेंट्स, सी इज द करेक्ट आंसर. डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस क्वेश्चन स्टूडेंट्स? All right. Okay, beta. Now I'm moving towards the next question, question number 13, which is related to specific heat capacity of chapter. In this question, they are saying a cup contains 0.25 kg of water at 60 degrees Celsius. Acha, mass of the water is given, which is 0.25 kg, and initial temperature of water is given 60 degrees Celsius. So some time later, the water has cooled. Water cool ho jayega because water is losing the heat energy into the surroundings. So the final temperature of water is now 20 degrees Celsius. Now they are saying how much energy has been transferred from water to the surrounding. Kitni energy transfer ho rahi hai? We have to calculate the energy. And the specific heat capacity of water is given 4200 joule per kg Celsius. So this is the specific heat capacity of water. So now which formula we have to use, the students? Which formula we have to use to calculate the energy here? Exactly. We will use the formula of specific heat capacity. Energy is equals to mc delta T. Achha, sometime we will use the letter E to represent energy, or sometime we will use the letter Q. They both are representing the energy. Okay? Now, the new formula will become mass is 0.25, and specific heat capacity of water is 4200. Delta T is the change in temperature. Change in temperature means final minus initial. अच्छा, टेम्परेचर नेगेटिव नहीं हो सकता क्योंकि टेम्परेचर की स्केलर क्वांटिटी है बेटा, तो आप 60 में से भी 20 को माइनस कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. तो नाउ मल्टीप्लाई ऑल ऑफ देम एंड टेल मी व्हाट आंसर यू आर गेटिंग. Okay, Hafsa and Zurez are saying B is the right answer. Vania is also saying B. Well done, students. B is the correct answer. Okay. Is it clear to you, everyone? Okay, now good. I'm moving towards the next question, that is question number 14. In question number 14, they are saying a pure substance is heated slowly. The temperature of the substance is measured as it starts to melt. So as the substance will starts to melt, so its temperature is measured. And when it is finished melting, which statement is correct? So basically, during this duration, the substance is melting. In this duration, basically, the substance is melting. And when the substance is melting, so during the melting or during boiling, substance temperature will not change. I'm repeating, beta, during melting and during boiling, substance temperature will not change. So it means, which one is the correct answer? Exactly. D is the right answer, students. Okay, whenever there is a change of state, so temperature will stay same. C is the right answer. Okay. Now, students, I am moving towards the next question. That is question number 5. This question is also very interesting, students. In this question, what they are saying, a lamp has a metal filament that glows when heated by an electric current. Okay. So basically, this is the metal filament of an electric bulb. This is the electric bulb, beta. All right, and this is the filament which is attached with the base. Filament usually filament base से ही attach होता है. Otherwise, electricity flow नहीं कर सकती. ठीक है? Now they are saying the middle of the filament has a very high temperature. ठीक है? The end of the filaments are connected to the base of the lamp. अच्छा, ये mention है कि end जो है वो filament की base से connect हुआ हुआ है. Which statement is correct? Which statement is correct, student? So they are saying some thermal energy is conducted to the base of the lamp. तो देखिए, A could be a right answer, students. A could be a right answer because some energy is conducted to the base of the lamp, because base of the lamp is made up of metal and metal are the good conductor of heat energy. तो कुछ एनर्जी तो बेस से कंडक्ट हो सकती है, ये आंसर हो सकता है, ठीक है. In option B, they are saying the filament radiates energy equally at all points along its length. तो filament energy को radiate equally at all points. All points पे equally radiate नहीं करेगा. Obviously, the energy radiated will be different at different points. ठीक है? In option C, the lamp transfer all the input energy to the visible light. ये भी possible नहीं है कि सारी की सारी input energy visible light में transfer हो जाए. Visible light means light energy. Obviously, lamp heat up होते हैं तो some energy will be lost in terms of heat energy as well. तो C भी आंसर नहीं हो सकता. Now in the next question, they are saying when the potential difference across the filament is half, the output power is half. देखिए बेटा, output power depend upon the electric current as well. Okay, it only does not depend on the potential difference. It depends upon the electric current as well. So D cannot be a right answer, student. So the only correct answer is option A. Only correct answer is option A. Did you understand this question, everyone? Okay, now I'm moving towards the next question. Acha, most of the questions are related to heat energy, basically. In this question, they are saying a liquid passes through pipe inside a refrigerator. The liquid warms as the inside of the refrigerator cools. The warm liquid is then passed through pipes on the outside of the refrigerator. I hope most of you have seen such type of such type of structure at the back side of the refrigerator. So warm liquid is passing through this type of pipes, and at the output we will get the cold liquid. Okay. Now you can see the diagram shows two design for the outside cooling pipes. One design has copper rods called fins. देखिए बेटा, look at this design. In this design we have copper rods. These fins are basically made up of copper, and we know that the student copper is a good conductor of heat energy, which can radiate the heat energy. So that's why warm liquid can be easily become cold liquid by radiating the heat energy. Now they are saying the outside pipes and fins can be painted silver or black. So black is a good radiator, students, or silver is a good radiator of heat energy? Well done, Hafsa. Black, exactly. Black is a good radiator of heat energy. So we should paint these pipes with a black color because black is a good radiator of heat energy. All right. And this one diagram is more appropriate to use. The reason is that these fins are made up of conductor, and conductor means copper, and copper is a superconductor. Superconductor means it can conduct or radiate the heat energy with a greater rate. So well done, Abdul Rafi. Well done, students. A is the correct answer. Understood, students? Okay. Now I'm moving towards the next question. Question number 17. This question is related to numerical calculation based question. In this question, they are saying an earthquake monitoring station records the arrival of 16 complete wavelength of earthquake wave in a time of 20 seconds. So basically, in 20 seconds, we are receiving the 16 complete waves. 16 complete waves. So 16 waves का time duration दिया हुआ है 20 seconds. तो वन वेव